Do you know how electronic trading of financial instrument is regulated in India outside the stock exchanges? Well, the RBI has just released a brand new master direction in June 2025 for the electronic trading platform, which is also called as ETP in the short form. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the master direction of RBI related to the electronic trading platform 2025. Before starting the discussion, I would like to tell you about a very special webinar here. You can enroll in this webinar. It's on 21st of June 2025, 4 p.m. And here you will be getting a 60-day study plan for your RBI Grade B preparation for the examination 2025. You can also discuss your queries here as well related to the examination or the strategy. There is a Q&A session as well, so please do register for it. We have also launched the RBI Grade B course, and that is with books, right? So we are providing the physical books as well, and you can check out the course as well. Download the Oliveboard application to get all the updates related to all the YouTube sessions, and you can download the PDF as well related to all the YouTube sessions, right? So let's quickly start the session, guys. Let's first discuss about the objective of this. So this has been issued in section 45W of the RBI Act 1934, right? Section 45W. It replaces the existing regulations. So we do have already the regulations related to electronic trading platform. The directions are of 2018, and now we are replacing these directions with the directions of 2025. The goal obviously is to strengthen the regulatory oversight. So there is a greater regulatory oversight. They are bringing more and more transparency, fair practices and efficiency in the electronic trading of the eligible instruments outside the stock exchange here. Now first you need to know what ETP is all about. So an electronic trading platform is nothing but a electronic system that is facilitating the trading in the instruments like government securities, like forex derivatives, etc., right? But it is not at all a recognized stock exchange. So let's suppose if you want to do trading of government security, that needs to be done via electronic system, right? Electronic trading platform here. So ETP are typically used by the banks and financial institutions, or it can be used by other intermediaries as well. And these platforms must now comply with the RBI strict new rules that we'll be studying in this particular video, right? Scope and applicability. So this particular directions are applicable on all the entities operating as electronic trading platform. So if you are an entity which is operating as an electronic trading platform, then you need to follow these guidelines. So here all the entities who are operating as electronic trading platform need to definitely follow these guidelines that have been published by the RBI. However, there are some certain exceptions. If you are a scheduled commercial bank and if you are a standalone primary dealer, right? In case of scheduled commercial banks and standalone primary dealer, if they are the sole price or quote provider and a party to all the transactions of on their system, then in that case you don't need to follow these guidelines. Even it will be fine even if you don't need to follow the guidelines. That's an exception. So what do we mean by here the sole price or quote provider? So here only one person or entity is giving the buying and selling related price. There are not multiple bidders here, right? There are not multiple bidders, only one person is doing that. Now let's suppose if you are using a platform to buy or sell something, and you always trade directly with the platform itself and not the users of the platform, and only that platform is setting the price, then that particular platform is nothing but sole price provider, right? He is the only one who is providing the price and party to all the transaction. Now let's take an example. You are dealing with some XYZ bank here, right? So XYZ bank is having an online forex platform. Okay, you see that XYZ bank is offering $1 for 83 rupee, let's suppose, and you decided to buy $100. So the price is $1, 83 rupees, right? That's the exchange rate. So you directly are buying from the XYZ bank and not at all from another customer, right? The bank is the dealing authority here. You are directly buying it from the bank. XYZ bank sets the rate and XYZ bank is the one who is selling the dollars here, right? So XYZ bank, we can say that is the only one setting the price. That means the sole quote provider. Now XYZ bank is now only the they are just doing the every trade with user, right? They are also party to the transaction. So XYZ platform is not like a stock exchange where multiple buyers and sellers are placing the orders. it's more like a dealer system here, right? They are directly contracting, so they can be called as sole price or quote provider here, right? And a party to all the transaction as well. However, such exempt entities must still report the required data to RBI or trade repository. Even if you are in the exception list, still you need to provide reports as required by the RBI here, right? So all entities who are operating as a ETP, definitely you guys need to follow the directions of RBI. However, there are certain exceptions. Even if you are exempt, then also you need to at least report the data regularly to the RBI, right? So what is ETP? Electronic trading platform, any electronic system, not at all a stock exchange, for trading the eligible financial instruments. If you do have facility of electronic system for trading the eligible financial institutions, then you are electronic trading platform here, right? What are the eligible instruments? So there is a proper list. It can be securities, it can be money market instruments, forex, foreign exchange, derivatives, etc. That is already notified by the RBI, right? ETP operator, it's nothing but authorized by the RBI. So if you want to operate as a ETP, you need to take permission from the RBI. Algo trading. Algo trading is nothing but doing the trading things related to stock market activity, doing the trading things that are already been automated by the software, right? So let's suppose if you are using some kind of software, if the price reaches a certain level, the trade is automatically punched in, right? And the trade is automatically been executed. The bot is executing the trade rather than you itself, right? So then in that case, that's called as algo trading, right? You are using algorithm, software based algorithm for that. Net worth, again it will be one of the terminology we'll be discussing about it. It's nothing but it's already given in Companies Act. What is your net worth? The minimum requirement here in this particular direction is 5 crore, right? Legal entity identifier, it is again mandatory for identifying trading entities uniquely. I think legal entity identifier was a concept which was asked in 2023 or 2022 previous year question of RBI as well, right? Authorization requirement, mandatory RBI authorization is required if you want to operate as a ETP. Okay, so if you want to operate as an ETP, you need to mandatorily get yourself registered with the RBI here. No trading of instruments beyond those authorized by RBI. Again, the financial instruments in which the ETP can deal are also authorized by the stated by the RBI in advance, right? Eligibility criteria, that's the crux of this particular guideline. There are a lot of procedural things that are also related to the mentioned in the guidelines. However, we'll be only covering the things that can be important for your examination. I can make this video for half an hour, 1 hour, but it won't make any sense, right? Unless and until we guys cover the crux of the circular, which is important for our examination. Usually the procedure related things are not at all important for you guys, right? There are multiple processes in this particular circular which might not be relevant for your examination purpose. So in all the videos, I try to bring the crux of the circulars that definitely have a high chance of coming up in the examination. Eligibility criteria, these are some general eligibility criteria. Must be a company incorporated in India. If you want to be a ETP, right, then you need to be a company which is incorporated in India. Definitely you need to take a registration under the Companies Act 2013 here for this purpose. Non-resident shareholding must follow the FEMA rules. If non-resident shareholdings is also there, then you need to follow the FEMA rules as well. Entity or at least 2 key managerial personnel of the entity must have 3+ years of the experience in financial market infrastructure. If you want to start an ETP, you need to have at least 3 years of experience. The entity needs to have 3 years of experience in financial market infrastructure. However, if the entity is not having, then at least 2 of the key managerial personnel working in your entity must have this experience, right? Financial, very, very important. You should be having minimum net worth of 5 crore, okay? 5 crore minimum net worth should be the minimum net worth in order to form this entity, right? Technologically robust, secure and scalable IT system. You should be having a strong IT system, secure IT system and scalable IT system, because it's very necessary. In case of large demand, you need to immediately scale it, right? Real time or near real time trade information dissemination. So you need to at least transfer the information, circulate the information on a real time basis, right? That's how trade happens like this, right? You need real time data. So the most important thing as per my understanding here is the experience requirement plus the financial requirement, minimum net worth of 5 crore or more at all times, right? The company must be incorporated in India, and if you are a non-resident is having shareholding, then definitely they need to follow with the FEMA rules as well, and that's what you can see here in the circular. I have pasted the circular screenshot as well. You can later on download this PDF from the application or from the Oliveboard Telegram channel, and definitely it will help you. And if you do have any query regarding anything, regarding your eligibility, regarding any kind of technical doubt in finance, definitely you can reach out to me on Telegram as well, or in the comment section here itself in the video below the in the comment section you can drop me your query, or you can definitely drop me on my Telegram channel as well, right? Then there is financial criteria, 5 crore rupee, right? That should be the minimum net worth. Technology criteria, you need to have a robust technology, high degree of reliability and availability and scalability, right? We won't be reading into each and every process oriented part because that's not important for your examination. It will just stretch the video, not the crux of the video, right? Authorization process, obviously we know that if you need to submit any information as a let's suppose if you want to submit any kind of request, any kind of application, we need to do it via Prava portal nowadays, right? So the application needs to be routed through Prava portal to the Chief General Manager, RBI FM Regulation Department here, right? The RBI may seek additional information. They can also ask for additional information, any kind of third party assessment or government input as well. That's definitely can happen. Authorization is non-transferable. Let's suppose XYZ Bank has taken the ETP authorization. Now they cannot transfer this to ABC Bank. Okay, that's not possible at all. Authorization is not at all transferable. If ABC Bonds also wants the authorization of ETP, then again they need to apply it to the RBI via Prava portal. It's not at all transferable. And definitely RBI can reject it, it can approve it, or it can even cancel it for the reasons, right? Let's suppose if there is any kind of violation of law or any kind of public interest concerns are there, right? So they can definitely revoke the approval, they can reject it. Then here we do have the operating framework as well. I have summarized it for you guys. You can also read the circular as well, right? There is a lot of information in the circular which is not related to your exam, which is not your exam oriented, right, information. So I have summarized it for you so that you can at a glance, after reading the circular, you can read the PDF multiple times and switch to some other topic in the syllabus, right, for saving your time. So operating framework, access and participation. The access and participation shall be done in complete transparent manner and fair manner, right? The membership rules will be drafted in the transparent and fair manner. A unique member identification, I already told you, legal entity identifier or PAN number will be your unique member identification. If you are a ETP member, then definitely you need to have a LEI or a PAN number as your unique member identification, right? Clear rules for suspension, liability, risk, or any kind of order execution. Clear rules should be drafted, right? Clarity should be there, otherwise there won't be any kind of transparency here. Equal access to pre-trade and post-trade information. So you need to provide equal access to the pre-trades and post-trades trade information here. Then if I talk about risk management, then you need to draft a comprehensive risk management framework as well, so that you can, in case if any kind of risk emanates, then you are able to counter it, right? So there should always be a comprehensive risk management framework, and that should include the internal control framework as well, okay? So you need to have an internal control framework as well. What is internal control? Can anyone tell me in the comment section, what do you guys mean by internal control? Look, let's suppose I am having a cashier in my business, right? I have appointed a cashier. Now I need somebody to have a check on that cashier as well, right? Otherwise there will be embezzlements of cash, right? So I need somebody else as well to have a check on that cashier, and that's what internal control is all about. Internally, my organization should be having enough controls so that frauds and errors are minimized here, right? So we need to have a comprehensive risk management framework, including the internal control framework. Then access control, segregation of service, fair order handling, everything should be properly done. That's the part of risk management. Controls for algo related trades like testing before the onboarding and risk oversight, everything should be well in place. Then algo trading, transparent access, qualified staff and model of risk oversight should be clearly stated here. Pre-post trade controls to prevent fat finger errors और अनइंटेंडेड एक्टिविटी. फैट फिंगर एरर्स क्या होते हैं? कभी कभी होता है ना, ऑर्डर पंच करते करते 1000 की जगह 100 टाइप हो गया, दैट इज नथिंग बट अ फैट फिंगर एरर. या फिर 100 की जगह 1000 टाइप हो गया, दैट इज अ फैट फिंगर एरर, राइट. और इट कैन बी अनइंटेंडेड एक्टिविटी. अब ये कोई इंटेंशन थोड़ी था कि 100 पंच करना है, हमको तो 1000 पंच करना था, हाउएवर 100 हो गया. That's possible. So there should be controls for dealing with each and everything, right? It's a complete process oriented thing. That's why I have summarized it for you, right? Business continuity must have a BCP plan, business continuity plan and disaster recovery plan. Let's suppose in case of a disaster, what will happen to the business? In case of a cyber attack, let's suppose a cyber attack happens to your platform, then in that case how you will be able to continue the business? That's nothing but business continuity plan, disaster recovery plan. How you will recover the data, how you will recover the entire infrastructure, that's nothing but business continuity plan, and that should be in place, right? Because it is completely IT related and the name says it all, ETP के अंदर E stands for electronic. You need to have adequate information in cyber security, right? You need to have adequate information in cyber security, and whenever we talk about adequate information or cyber security, we always prefer to get our IT system audited by a CISA auditor, right? So this is certified information system auditor. Annual IT or IS audit, information technology and information system audit by a CISA auditor or cert in auditors. They are approved auditors, okay, by a regulatory body. So RBI can appoint the independent auditors as well for doing the entire system audit. What do you mean by system audit? Let's suppose this is a system, this is a IT system. Now this particular system is processing 10,000 transactions per hour, let's suppose. Now we cannot check the entire 10,000 transactions. There will be lakhs of transactions, right, on a weekly basis even. So what we can do here is we need an expert IT auditor or IS auditor, which is also known as CISA. Now here is CISA, CISA and CERT, both are permitted. This auditor, what they will do, they will pass a dummy entry into a system. And check what was the input, is the output in accordance with the stated objective, is the output the same that we were expecting or not, right? So if the system is able to process one transaction correctly, then it will also process 1 lakh transactions correctly, because that's a system, that's a machine, right? That's a software. If the system is processing one transaction correctly, it will also process 1 lakh, 1 crore transaction perfectly. And that's what CISA auditor do. They pass a dummy transaction to check the system integrity, confidentiality and validity of the transaction of input as well as of the resultant output, right? Outsourcing must ensure compliance is not at all compromised even if outsourced. Let's suppose the ETP provider has outsourced a part of it, right? Outsourced a part of its operating activity. Then in that case, even if there is a outsourcing, however, the compliance should not be compromised, because it's a highly important area, right? It's a very, very important area. You can't deal with the non-compliance here, right? Responsibility lies with the ETP operator for data security. Now, even if, let's suppose ETP has outsourced it to Prateek Limited, my company, they have outsourced a part of their activity to Prateek Limited. In that case also, the entire responsibility will lies with ETP only, right? They are responsible for the conduct of my company as well as their own acts. Obviously, the ultimate responsibility is with the ETP. Please do remember this as well. A direct question can be formed from this as well, plus the net worth related thing and the experience related thing. You need to remember that. Again, an important thing, data retention. You need to store a data. As an ETP, you need to store data for 10 years. Okay, access to such data should be strictly under the control of ETP here. If you are having any kind of data, you need to at least implement strict controls in order to protect the integrity and confidentiality of the data. You need to keep that data retrievable at least for 10 years, right? At least for 10 years, right? However, for investigation purpose, keep the data for 3 years post the investigation tenure. Let's suppose you have already kept it for 10 years. However, on the 10th year itself, let's suppose there is an investigation. Now, even if you have already completed the stated 10-year wala timeline, still you need to again keep it safe for the next 3 years because of the investigation, right? So even after the investigation, post investigation closure, you need to keep it for the 3 years. However, the base tenure is 10 years, right? In case of an investigation, you need to store it for 3 more years. Upon closure or cancellation, must share the data with the RBI. Let's suppose if you are closing down the ETP operation, then you need to share the data with the RBI or its nominee. There is a reporting requirement as well. Quarterly operation reporting is there. The deadline is 15th of month after the quarter. Once the quarter gets concluded, by 15th of the month, the next month, you need to report the data, right? That's the quarterly operational report. Whatever you have done quarterly, you need to state that in the report. Annual compliance report by 30th April following the financial year. Let's suppose the financial year is 1st April 2024 to 31st March 2025. Then in that case, the next month is April 2025. So by 30th April 2025 of the following financial year, you need to do a annual compliance, submit an annual compliance report as well. And trade data reporting will be as per the RBI's format and timeline. These are the internal timelines, and any kind of other information, event or market abuse is there, then you need to immediately report to the RBI via electronic channel like email, right? That's the criteria here. And at last, termination of the ETP operation. If you are closing down the ETP operation, you need to take a prior approval of RBI here, needed for the voluntary ceasing of the operation. Obviously, if you are voluntarily closing down the operation, you need to take a prior approval from the RBI. Must surrender the original authorization letter. You need to surrender the authorization letter as well. RBI's regulatory flexibility. RBI can definitely exempt any ETP or class from certain directions for the specified time. Obviously, RBI has drafted these regulations. They can even exempt any certain ETPs or classes of ETPs for certain time duration. Be selective in granting the authorization, especially to control risk from the unproven tech or ensure market robustness. So always be selective here. RBI can be selective here in granting the authorization. It's not like that if you are even qualifying for the basic criteria like net worth and experience criteria, still RBI can be selective. It's not that your application can be rejected. It can definitely be rejected, right? The RBI has full power to reject your application. The RBI can be selective here. It's clearly written in this particular circular here. And at last, I have always, like always in every video, I give you pointer summary for your examination. I have covered in this particular circular as well. Do let me know if my videos are helpful for you or not, right, in the comment section. And what else we can do for you guys to make your experience better, right? We are doing SEBI circulars, we are doing RBI circulars. We are also covering these kind of circulars individually as well, right? We are also doing finance current affairs, MCQs and finance current affairs. So do let me know in the comment section whether you are enjoying all the services being provided by Oliveboard or not, right? So that's all from my end, guys. Thank you so much. Please do remember the net worth criteria here, right? Let me just quickly summarize the things as well for you, what can be important for your examination. First thing is the goal. You need to know about the goal, right? Applicability is very, very important of this particular circular. The applicability is very, very important, right? Then mandatory RBI authorization is required if you want to operate as ETP. This is particularly the eligibility criteria is very important here. You need to remember the entire eligibility criteria for this particular circular, especially the financial criteria, experience criteria, right? Authorization process will be via Prava portal. Authorization is not at all transferable. You need to have a risk management, comprehensive risk management framework as well, right? Outsourcing, definitely, even if you outsource your operations, still you will be responsible. And the data retention, again, very, very important. 10 years is the timeline. You need to store all the trade related data for 10 years. However, in case of any investigation, you need to keep the data post investigation closure for again 3 years, right? And the reporting requirements. Okay, so these things you need to study very well. I have summarized everything at the last in the pointer summary as well. Okay, so do let me know आपको हमारा effort कैसा लग रहा है. Thank you so much for watching this video. इसी तरह के और videos भी we will be definitely posting. Bye bye, take care.